Hello and welcome back to the channel How We Move the Decimal. In today's video we are going over a Salvation Army haul, and I do have a couple videos of us photographing these items in particular, especially the silverware. You will see silverware in this at the end, and some of it is actually silver, so that has its own haul altogether, so I'm not going to like focus on it too much. But yeah, that is that. We have a Salvation Army in our town. We do not have a Goodwill in our town. Our nearest Goodwill is probably almost an hour away. So I don't think we've ever had a Goodwill. We might have had a Goodwill. I don't think we've had a Goodwill. But we've had a Salvation Army. It's moved around a couple times, but we do have a Salvation Army. It's going through some weird transition phase. They're getting a lot of like store overstocks, Target in particular, like new with tag stuff, and a lot of times it's more than they're charging more than the clearance tag on the Target item says, and they never take the tags off or the stickers off, so you kind of know. So like a shirt that Target had clearance down to $1, they're selling for $4.99, which is a kind of a look, I guess. That's a choice that they made, but I also think that choice is turning a lot of people off. Either clip the Target tags off and sell it as used for a higher price, or take those clearance stickers off of it, because it's a look. I will say, even if I liked a shirt and I saw that it was clearanced for $1 and they're selling it for $4, I'm not going to buy it. And I think a lot of people are probably like that. So again, that was a choice they made. And our Salvation Army is not the best either, so out of all the thrift stores in our town, I tend to steer clear of that. However, it has the best hours out of all the thrift stores in our town. A majority of the thrift stores in our town have like really odd hours, so if you worked a 9-to-5 job, you wouldn't be able to go to a lot of them. So like one of them is 9 to 3. Another one is 10 to 4. So again, you'd almost have to take a day off of work to go to those thrift stores. The Salvation Army is 10 to 7 every day, but Sunday and Sundays it's closed. So it does have after normal work hours, so that is to its advantage, but it's not. Again, the pricing just is not there. We saw a really big inflation on this, and you kind of have to dig through it to find the stuff that's maybe they forgot or didn't realize that it's worth that much. And you're going to look at, like, we have a bunch of really odd things in this video. The vintage ice bucket, I do believe, is already sold. Some of the silverware sold in less than 24 hours. Some of the silverware was selling as I was listing it. So I would list a spoon and it'd sell, and then the person would be like, do you have any more of this? And I'd be like, yes. And I would literally, as I'm listing it, was selling it. I sold, I want to say, almost $100 worth of silverware while I was listing it. So that was a big bonus there. And again, this is not a pipeline. I'm not going to be able to do this again. I don't know why they priced it that cheap. I saw the rolls, the fabric, the silver protectant fabric, and I was like, this has silver protectant fabric, so it's either plated or solid, and that's what drew my attention to it. And they were marked for $2.99 and $3.99 a roll, so that's why I picked them up. But again, this is not going to be something I can ever do again there, and that's unfortunate. We did buy some stuff for our kids. You'll see the bath paints. I will say our 2 girls still take baths pretty consistently, and I don't even think those bath paints lasted 4 months. But there were big bags of them for $8 or $9. Which is good. I mean, our Dollar Tree sells them, but they're still $1.25 at the Dollar Tree, and you might be able to get like a pack for them semi-cheaper at Walmart when they have the packs, but this was a great deal, so I bought a bunch of bags of the bathtub paint, and they lasted. It was fine. Some of the clothes I bought for myself, the Weight Watchers books there in the corner, those have all sold. Now, are they making huge money? No, they're not making huge money. Are they selling? Yes. And these are the vintage Weight Watchers books. When I say vintage, 1990s, which is kind of sad. The 1990s is vintage. But the vintage 1990s Weight Watchers books are selling. The I Love You to the Moon and Back, that mug sold very quickly too, which was kind of funny. A lot of the clothing was for ourselves, not necessarily to sell. We got a tennis racket and a pickleball racket and some other racket. I will buy the unique or the odd. If it's like, man, I've never seen that before, I will buy that if it's cheap enough. I want to say these were color tagged, so they were the half off, whatever color that is. And it looks like it was white, so half off white. Our Salvation Army does half off of a color every week, and they switch out whichever color it is. The only thing they don't do half off on is yellow, because that is like their boutique or whatever, and they never do half off on that, which I find it funny because you see the same things over and over again. I'm going in there and the boutique items have not rotated because they are so severely overpriced, and there's never a sale on those. So that's, that's neither here nor there, but that is one of the issues I have with that. That sold right away too. The Moen, I forget what it was. It was either like a bar or like a toilet paper holder or something. It was new in box. I'm not going to buy these used, but I will buy it new. It looks like it was $2.99 on the back. And of course I'm going to buy it because it's Moen. That if it wasn't that brand, I probably would not buy it. I've noticed that we get a lot of, again, Target stuff, a lot of new tag Target stuff. I don't know if Target made a deal or not with that, but there's a lot of new tags Target stuff there. So Target brand stuff, but I wouldn't even pick it up if it was American Standard. Moen, maybe Delta, but definitely Moen I would pick up. There's a couple, again, a lot of the clothing was for us. My husband got a plaid shirt and I got a couple sweatshirts. There is I don't know if they're still in business or not. It's an MLM. It's Scentsy. This is like a Scentsy wax warmer mold. So like you can make your own wax warmer samples and give it to people. And that's worth money. It has not sold yet for us. And it's kind of frustrating to the point that I might pull it off and just use it myself to make wax warmers out of candles. But I guess it's for the consultants to make their own wax warmers to like give away as like prizes and stuff. But it is shaped like the Scentsy package that you get your little wax things in. I know the warmers themselves, depending on, will sell. They have a lot of like themed stuff most of the time. So the themed stuff does sell. Just a standard warmer probably won't sell, but like I got a soccer ball warmer that I kept for myself because we are a soccer family, but that does sell, and it's a huge soccer ball with the wax warmer on top of it. There's a Christmas tree one that does sell. There is a cat and pumpkin one that sells. So all of those, be aware if it's if it looks incredibly gaudy, heavy, or hard to ship, it's probably going to sell well, and it's probably Scentsy. I don't know. Again, it's an MLM. It's kind of like LuLaRoe. It's pervasive in certain areas. I can usually find Scentsy around here. Not the actual wax melts, but the warmers I can find. We just went to the bins inside St. Louis, and there was a whole lot of, what's the MLM? Young Living. There was a whole lot of the essential oils and the diffusers and stuff in the bins there. Those, again, are also worth money if you find them. A lot of them were dirty. I just didn't want to mess with it. So this is all the silverware. A lot of these are actually silver. I want to say some of the odd spoons are silver and not silver plated, but actually silver. I had to look it up. I had to use my phone to magnify a lot of the markings because my eyes are old and the lighting is not great. So I guess pro tip, use your phone to zoom in and look at the markings. And I had to do that and look them up online. These were vintage, so I had to look at like how to date them based on the marks, which was kind of difficult. And if they didn't say silver, if they had specific numbers, I had to look up with that. So that took a bit for me to do. But it was worth it. And I think I've sold all of them at this point, but most of them sold within the first several hours. Again, as I was listing one, another one was selling and people were asking me if I had more. Granted, I believed that these were going to go to scrappers. And I'm not sure how I feel about it. These were definitely going to be melted down. These were not. The same person was buying multiple different patterns, but they were looking for a specific type of silver, which lends me to believe that these are going to be melted down. These are going to be sold for their silver quantity, which is kind of sad because I'm like, man, these cool silver spoons. I have absolutely no use for silver spoons, but man, these cool silver spoons, and they're going to be melted. Or they're, the silver knives or whatever. You can kind of tell what ones are silver, and this is just my unprofessional, totally not a pro tip at all. It's how they shine. If they seem darker, a lot of times I will think they're not silver if they are not preserved. Now, granted, they could patina and they could get darker. Silver does stain, I don't know what we want to call that, tarnish, I guess, and gets darker, but like these are very light silver. They reflect, they seem almost not a stainless steel quality, but almost like an aluminum quality, like aluminum shine. So that's how I could tell that a lot of them were silver, and they were in the silver rolls. I'm actually going to sell the fabrics too. I have not got around to selling the fabrics because I sold the spoons in lots of 4 or individually, depending on the silver quality and quantity. They weigh basically nothing. And one of the people that bought, I want to say they bought over 10 of them from me, told me not even to bother like bubble wrapping them and stuff, which again kind of lends to that they're going to be melted down and sold for silver weight. Again, the Weight Watchers books. I don't know if new books get as much. I know that the books from the 90s do. I have one set from the 90s and one set from the early 2000s, and I will say the ones from the 90s sold super fast. I did keep the ones from early 2000s for a bit, but they're also all gone. Those sold, but again, the winner here, I've sold the Ice Bucket, all of the Weight Watchers books, but the true winner here is the silverware, and I'm not going to get a purchase like that again. This is not a pipeline. This is not a renewable resource, which is one of the bad parts of how we do eBay and how we shop for eBay. We just we just buy what we can. We scavenge, for lack of a better term. We do not have a pipeline. We very rarely do retail arbitrage at all, and if we do, it's usually stuff that's at the Dollar Tree. So it's difficult. You're like, man, that was such a great score, and it's kind of disheartening that you're not going to have that score again.